Mark has been a member of Central Coast Toastmasters for 8 months, and he is on speech 10 in the Confident Communicator.
All right.
Go, man. The way you look at things. The way you look at things, Mark Gadari.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening.
So, change the way you look at things. The things that you look at change. You change the way you look at things. The things you look at change. What was significant about September 11, 2000? I'm going to put somebody on the spot. Haley, what was significant about September 11, 2000?
2000.
September 11, 2000.
I was.
Anyone want to help her? September 11, 2000.
Not
That was
2000.
It sounds like that, right? It actually wasn't the Twin Towers. It actually was the day that I started my career in pharmaceutical sales. September 11, 2001,
Yeah.
1 year later, is actually when that event happened. And that event changed the way we look at things. Distinguished guests, fellow Toastmasters, the way you look at things. So I spent 10 years in pharmaceutical sales, and like clockwork, every single year at the end of the year, in some major city around the country, we had an annual sales meeting. And at that annual sales meeting, like clockwork, we went through the same process of evaluating the business, what happened the year before. As we got near the end of the week, we had our sales award ceremony, and all of the top performers got a chance to be recognized. At one point, I was one of those. Took my own one there. And at the very last day before we were released back to our different states that we came from, we had a motivational speaker. I had an opportunity to meet Les Brown, some different NFL players, and some other famous people. And their whole job was to motivate us to go out and conquer the world of drugs, to make change. But one speaker in particular, I remembered, and it's because of the message. The message was, change the way you look at things. The things you look at change. That speaker, I remember going into that very dark auditorium. This very small frame guy with glasses. He had a camera just like this one. And it was quiet for a moment. And he said, I know what you guys are thinking. What am I going to teach you guys about selling drugs, right? I'm just a photographer, but I'm a National Geographic photographer, so I'm good at what I do. As a matter of fact, take a look at this picture here. See the Grand Canyon? I took that picture. Pretty good, huh? Everyone was like, yeah. But he said, you know something? That wasn't good enough for me. I had to do something else. So, this is what I did. And I took a picture from another angle. I changed the way that I looked at that scene. Now look at this. And the whole audience erupted. What was a beautiful picture was a masterpiece. almost as if you were looking at Ansel Adams. He showed us another picture of a field. Could be any field here in Florida. Green grass, you saw the daisies. But he said, you know, it just doesn't look right for me. Let me go ahead and just change the lens of my camera here.
That expensive lens.
All right. So as you can imagine, he put on another lens, and he got down, and he took another picture. Click. And again, what was a beautiful picture turned into this beautiful wide-angle masterpiece of landscape. The message there again, the way you look at things changes your perspective. Change the filters on your camera. Change how you stand or observe something. Now what's interesting is when we are born, some of us know that our vision is very limited, maybe even blind to some capacity. Babies can only see 8 to 10 inches in front of them. By 8 to 10 months, they have limited depth perception and can recognize some movement. Between 1 and 2 years old, the depth perception is fully there, and they are able to fully recognize their environment, stand up, and that's when you and I both know the fun begins. Because as parents, as brothers and sisters and grandmothers, we get a chance to go ahead and start feeding them all of the information that we have from our upbringing, from our society, from the places that we grew up. Now, I've had the opportunity to be raised in Jamaica, be raised in New York, have lived in Texas, Cocoa Beach, Florida, Daytona Beach, Florida, Melbourne, Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Atlanta, and Tampa. Russ, being in the military, how many different places have you touched during your time?
About maybe 30.
Also being from Israel, have you touched many different places?
Not too many, 5.
Right. Well, again, your perspective
Very
on,
different.
right, your perspective on things and my perspective and Russ's perspective are affected by the different places that we've had an opportunity to visit, to see, and to live in. And my challenge to you all tonight is, again, what you see, what you look at, again, is affected by a number of different things. And I challenge you all to change the way that you look at things so the things that you look at can change.